A tribute to an icon. Thank you, Master Toriyama, for being an important part of our lives. Thank you for letting us be part of the wonderful universe you created. Thank you for giving us such happiness when we were kids, and even today that we're all grown up. We hope you rest in peace, wherever you are. Hey everybody! How's everything going? Welcome to Custom Toys EC, a series of videos where I'm gonna talk about all the freaky stuff that all we freakies love. Today, for this video, I have a very special figure to show you, and it's S.H. Figuarts, legendary Super Saiyan Son Goku from Bandai. I think this is one of the most anticipated figures for my collection of this year. When I saw the promo pics, I was so excited, but not really sure if I could get it on time. Thankfully, I found it on a very good deal and I got it on my hands now. This is interesting. The instructions come now on the other side of the cardboard box. This figure is so special because it's the version for Goku when he's fighting Frieza on the last stage of that long fight just before the planet exploded. This unit comes from Vietnam, and it is known that figures from Vietnam have a lot of QC issues, not so much like the ones from China. This figure comes with 2 hair pieces, 4 interchangeable faces with different expressions. This hairpiece is amazing. It has like an air effect, it's elongated and sharp, and doesn't have all those bang pieces on the front. I'm not sure that I'm posing the figure with this piece though. I want to mention the power effect for the Kamehameha attack. It's a very great improvement from the previous one. And its pieces look like crystals. I love this design. Okay. You just take each piece and assemble it. This figure also comes with 5 pairs of hands, and like I said, four interchangeable faces with different expressions. I think this is my favorite, and it's very well sculpted. I noticed that the plastic is a bit glossy. I don't know why, but if I can't correct it, I will use Mr. Clear or maybe another process for making it a little bit more matte finish. This one showing his teeth. That's great. And this, a yelling one. The one for the fighting poses with power effects, I think. Now let's get him out of the blister and take a look at this work of art. And I gotta say that this figure is amazing. It has all his clothing shredded around his body and a jacked up body, showing all the power that he has. And he was charging for defeating the murdering lunatic Frieza. I love the design of the figure, and I can say it's an improvement from the previous version. Maybe the hair pieces are way bigger, but it is exactly the way he looked on the anime. Something I don't get is the glossiness of the body. In some parts, it's just too much, and I heard a lot of people complain about the chest piece being a different tone of skin, but for me, I think it's well done. What do you say? Do you like this version of the figure? Now, the articulation is also amazing. He can move his head around, his shoulders in a very open angle, the torso as well. It's a bit loose, and this is ridiculous. Look how the figure folds, and the knee joint is way too loose. I need to improve that. I feel there's not much I have to do with this one, although there are a few things we're gonna talk about right now. First, the articulation feels good but not great. It's way too loose in some parts, especially on the torso, elbows, knees, and also hips. A bit of boiling water will do the trick. These figures' articulations are very different from other companies. First, we take the articulation for the forearm and remove the piece. We take the legs and separate the knee joints. Now, using a pair of tweezers for taking the articulation piece from the one that is left behind. And I want to show you this piece is incredibly loose right now. With the heat of the water, it adjusted a bit, but that won't be for long. So I will press those metal pieces inside with a hammer, and that will make the piece to fix the problem. We do the same to the arms. I use a hair dryer to heat the piece again so it fits in place. But first, I put a bit of super glue with a toothpick inside those gaps. And repeat the same process with every articulation piece. Just try to be careful to put the pieces on the right side where they belong. I love the wristbands. Now they are sculpted in blue plastic, they are not painted anymore. And now, as you can see, the knee is stiffer, all because of the process that I mentioned before. Luckily, they glued this diaper piece to the joint system. These fixings are very similar to the ones that I do to my McFarlane Toys figures. If you want to see how I do this process with them, please check the video that I will leave here. Cutting very small seams around the bowl helps the super glue to get inside and attach roughly to the plastic. This makes the piece have more friction. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Time to put the figure back together. I know that you won't see anything different because it's done inside the figure. Now let's test the articulation, and the neck joint is very well now. The shoulders are great. The elbows are more stable. And the knees are way better now, although the upper part of the joint is still a bit loose. Now the hips show more friction, and I can feel the figure generally better. Even the torso. This is great. This design definitely is an improvement from the previous one. You can't see any of those gaps between the pieces that one has. One last thing I want to do is getting the head a tiny bit higher. And I do that inserting a very small piece of PVC plastic that I cut before and glue it inside the socket. And I know it's only 1mm, but it helps. Trust me. The next thing on the list will be getting off all that glossy finish that the plastic pieces have. I don't want to use Mr. Clear because that product showed me a couple of times that it scratches off from different types of plastic. So I will do it using a fingernail slime. It has to be very soft and squishy. Now, I do this using circle motions. Softly. Don't press the lime against the plastic so hard. Just do it tightly. I sand every part of the body that has that awful glossy finish. If it helps, disassemble the figure again. Here was a bit of color migration from the orange paint of the belt. Now let's review what we have done so far. The articulation is tight, stable, and manageable. They are way better now. I also did the same fixings on the ankles, and even the tips of the boot. Then, the matte finish that it has now on the surface of the skin. Oh, but I almost forget the faces. Be extremely careful. You don't want to scratch the face printing of your interchangeable faces. I also sand the borders of the piece. It always has tiny bits of plastic from the molding process. For cleaning the piece, just use a dry cloth. And done. Maybe you don't see it, or maybe I am crazy, but trust me, it feels different. Improved. Now maybe you will hate me for this next step. I don't like the hair shading. I am rubbing it off. Yes. And I do this because there wasn't any shading on the back of the hair. If you want any commission work, please contact us on Instagram as customtoys_EC. And I don't want to waste any materials shading it. And now that I think about it, Super Saiyan hair is bright yellow. They're only shaded when they're fighting or there's energy around them. I prefer my Super Saiyan hair plain color. I use cotton on the tips of toothpicks so I can get the paint off the sculpted lines of the hair piece. You may say that I am a sacrilegious nerd for the purest of S.H. Figuarts figures fans. But I really want to make my point. If I take off that color, automatically the hair looks brighter. And there is no likeness to the color of the clothing. And so, it looks more similar to the anime. I know what I am about to say may be controversial, but I never liked the Super Saiyan Son Goku from SDCC 2011, which I don't know if it's still to this day, but it was considered the holy grail of SH Figuarts. Well, I never liked it. It had such saturation of color. Now I sand the hair wherever I took off the paint, so I can give it the matte finish that the body has now. And Super Saiyans emanate energy, not fire. And honestly, that hair looked so bad. Almost orange and brown and white on the tips. If you ask me, that didn't make sense. But I didn't judge you if you're looking for that figure or if you love it. And ready. Now all the glossiness has been terminated with. Now you may notice what I told you before. All that glossiness from the body is very clear with the bright white lights that I use in my studio for this shooting. And now the hair looks way more similar to the way we saw this character on the anime. And guys, that's it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. And I want to say my sincere feelings for Akira Toriyama again. This is a tribute video to his legacy. And one weird thing that happened is that the day I got this figure on my hands was the exact day that they announced it on the news. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell for further videos. Thanks again if you reached this far. Feel free to leave all your opinions on the comments down below. And I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.